project, this ain't what you want. This ain't what you want.
This is gonna be a reading, a pick a card reading on what is your next chapter going to look like. So for pile 1, I have this crystal. I don't have all the names to these crystals because sometimes I'll just pick them up off the street. There will be like crystal vendors, and so yeah, but I'll have everything in my description box just in case you really want to know the name of it. I chose this one because this in the center, it reminded me of like the universe, like a star in the universe, a comet, like something from the universe. So you'll know if this is for you. You'll know if this is something that will resonate. And this is the pile, the deck that I chose for you guys. And this is like the style of it. It's honestly very beautiful. Okay. And then for pile 2, this is another one that I am not completely sure of the name. I'm just gonna wait for it to focus a bit. But this one as well is absolutely beautiful. This crystal always reminds me of like a lightning. You can't really see it here, but when it is a little bit darker, it has like this flash light. I'm gonna put like a little clip so you guys can see, and it is just absolutely fascinating, like so much behind the surface. So this is pile 2, and surprisingly for this pile I chose my everyday witch deck. You guys have definitely seen this before. This is the style of it. I really love it. Again, a lot under the surface is the theme for pile 2. Wow. Okay. So yeah, so this is what it looks like. You'll know if it resonates for you. And then pile 3, of course, this is my rose quartz. You guys already know. This one we cannot miss. And I chose this deck. This is my Ethereal Visions tarot deck. It is very beautiful, and I just love the foils on it, the gold foils. So yeah, and this is the style of it. Like it's very it has a lot of pastel colors, which go so well with the gold foils. So I really love it. Okay, so before I begin, I do want to say, please remember that more than one pile can resonate, as this is a general reading. And take what is for you, and please do not use my readings as an excuse to be impulsive or to be a shitty person or anything like that. You know, I always gotta keep it real with you guys. Make sure that you are using your intuition and your judgment, and that you are using my readings for confirmation, for guidance, for love, for peace, and none other than that. I love you guys, and we shall start with pile 1. Hello, so if you chose pile 1, then this is gonna be the reading for you. So I really want to start with tarot today. We're shuffling on the camera, in the camera. I have missed just shuffling cards. So let's see what pile 1 gets. What is going to be pile 1's next chapter? What are going to be their challenges? What are going to be their blessings? Give us all the tea and miss nothing. So the first card to come out is the Page of Cups. In this deck, it's called Knave of Cups. I think that's how you say it, but it is Page. So I'm gonna put one right here. And then you have the King of Cups. Oof. If this pile makes me cry, my first day back on YouTube and I cried, oh, we're fighting. So let's see, let's get a couple more cards here. We have the 3 of Pentacles, or the 3 of Coins. Beautiful, beautiful. And you know what's so crazy? Look at this. Look at the coin in the middle and how it has a star. And then you remember how I was saying that this reminds me of a star in the universe? Boy, do I have messages for you. For pile 1, I should say. Wow, this is like, you have the King of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. I am already like feeling the energy of this pile. And then we got the Knight of Wands. All right. So, I am gonna tell you right now, I feel like there is a lot about someone's father coming through. This is wildly specific. So again, it may not resonate with everyone, but it's like ever since you were a little girl, a little boy, whatever you identify as, ever since you were very little, I think you don't even realize how much you have admired a father's love. And this is like exactly what you've been missing for so long. And even in relationships now, it's like you look for that security and reassurance. And up to this point of your life, you have been surviving, going from job to job. You know, maybe you're in college or you're still studying, but there's like something that you feel like, you know, some sort of energy where you feel like you always have to do it. You always have to prove yourself. You cannot let other people handle things for you. And it is because the type of person that you look for is someone that represents masculine energy, that is gonna give you the protection, the security that you look for, because growing up you did not have that. And I feel like, you know, those times when your father was supposed to be there, they were not. You know, they were very avoidant. You know, the times that you needed love and emotions, there was a lot of yelling and a lot of I feel like just your father not being there. So I want you to know that it may be too late for, you know, your father to maybe come back into the picture, but what you are healing is this right here. And for some of you, this may look like, you know, you may actually heal the relationship with your father. But for a lot of you, I feel like you are now entering into this stage of, I know that I am so worthy and I don't need that security from someone else. It's like you are starting to become so much more sure of yourself, and this is gonna allow you to be so much more open in your life, and you're really gonna see all the resources, all the networks that you have right in front of your eyes. And you just have no idea, like, the stability and the money and the position that you are about to step into. And it is because of this right here, because you have been healing this. It's like you have been looking at the world from a child's eyes. And I'm not saying that you're immature, but simply you have been looking at the world through, you know, a desperate child looking for love, a desperate child looking for attention, looking for, you know, this like warmth energy, if you know what I mean. And again, if you make me cry, if you guys make me cry, we are fighting, because this is very real. And I think you never really were able to put a name on it or your finger on it until now. Like, this is one of those piles where it's like, if it's for you, it's for you. Like, you're getting called out. And there's so much about stars here. And I think that some of you guys have the mentality of like, nothing really matters, you know, like, it's like, we're all gonna die one day. Like, we live in this big gigantic planet in the universe. Like, we're so small, and sometimes like you dim your light this way, you dim like how special you really are. And it's like, if you were only to realize that even in the universe, even as a star in the universe, throughout the millions and gajillions of stars, like, you know, you would be you are just such a beautiful energy, and you need to recognize that. And I definitely think that you're stepping into your power, that you're moving into this very passionate and desirable energy where you're going to attract a lot of people around you. And when I say that, I think that, you may not agree with it at first, because I feel like you may have always been left out. You may have always been that third wheeler, the friend that's always kind of like in the back. But I feel like as you heal, you notice that you start to become more of like the center of attention, or you start to get a lot more attention. So I definitely feel that. And I think keep going, whatever you're doing, like keep building whatever it is. With this card, like I'm so drawn to this card right here, and I feel like your guides are very, very, very strict with you. And you may be Saturn ruled, you may have a lot of Capricorn and Aquarius placements, or you may have like a Capricorn or Aquarius rising. But Saturn is a planet all about limitations, karma, boundaries, like your lessons in life, essentially. And because of this, your lessons early on were very, very, very difficult. And it is almost now that you are starting to connect with your elements. Like as you age, it feels like things get a lot easier. You're able to live this like easy life that you felt like you weren't ever gonna get there. And something that I'm getting is that because you have this sort of energy, the universe makes it very clear what is for you and what isn't. So when you're constantly trying to make something work, a job work, when things are very frustrating, and it just feels like it's like the more that you try, the more that you go back, know that like that happens for a reason, that those things aren't working because your presence is not meant to be there. And if you notice, the more and the longer that you stay there, the more deteriorated, I know I didn't say that right, but you know what I mean. The more deteriorated your energy feels, the more like you become so burnt out. And when something is for you, it just flows. Like you just feel so at peace, so free, like just this like oneness and this wholesome energy. So just know this is the energy that you're stepping into. No more limitations, like, and the limitations that are there, they're not very noticeable because you are stepping into this energy, into this very grounded energy of what your soul really needs right now. So I feel like that is the biggest message for your next chapter, is knowing that like like I said, the universe makes it very clear what is for you. So if something isn't working, be very prepared to change jobs, to change careers, to change your education, to change something, because there are very big and happy changes for a lot of you that will bring that it's like that will lift this veil, this like burden off of your shoulders that you have been struggling with for so long. And also know that you are this very bright star in the universe, and that you will always be, that your qualities, your energy can never be found by anybody else. And I think you doubt that. I think that you don't really see your worth, and I know I keep reiterating that, but I feel it so strongly here. Know that the work that you have put in will not go unseen by the universe, and that your time is coming very, very soon. Wow. And also there is a lot of energy of like past life. even though you may have brought some of your karma from a past life, you fail to realize that you have also brought your blessings and your gifts and your natural born talents and your skills and your energy, your essence into this life as well. So it's like there's always a balance to things. So when you bring something good, you might bring something bad, but you know, in the end, it is you, and you have to realize that. I'm gonna start to pull some oracle cards, but this is like, wow, I love this reading so much. And again, if it is for you, you know it's for you. Like, there is no question about it. All right, tell me about Pile 1 and their next chapter. Wow, you have labradorite, see the magic. Some of you may even become a lot more spiritual, and that's because because of the king of coins here, you know, the king of coins or pentacles, this is someone that is able to enjoy the rewards and the money and the, like, you're reaping your rewards of all the hard work and all your labor, but you're also a very grounded individual. You do not become materialistic, and you know that your position and your place of power has been due to your hard work or due to the community. You don't ever forget like where you came from. And I think that because you're gonna become a lot more grounded, you are gonna become so much more clear on maybe feeling energy or maybe seeing like what you didn't before. And it may be a very spiritual thing. Like, you may become a lot more spiritually in tune, seeing things that you didn't before. And then you also have open up your heart, and of course this is rose quartz. I think that, you know, you had such a long time being closed up because you felt as though you didn't want to be hurt, or you felt like in order to be yourself or to receive love, it had to, you know, be the right person, or it had to be the right time, or there was just always an excuse as to why you couldn't open up. And it's like now you're realizing, I don't need that security or reassurance from someone else, because I already have that within myself. I have every tool and every resource within me. And notice how it all starts with clarity, with you seeing what is around you and what is available to you. And this is where you start working and building for your next chapter. And I am beyond excited to see this all come into play, and I literally have goosebumps right now. All right, so I have 3 more oracle cards. You guys know I have to spoil you with the oracle cards. So let's see what else wants to come up for your next chapter. Yeah, exactly. Some of you at the bottom of the deck, you have mental conflict, so you can deal with like a mental illness. And there's the siren to confirm it, of course. But you can deal with a mental illness. You may have depression, anxiety. So it may be a little bit harder for you to overcome certain challenges. And then you have spiritual union and hope. So for some of you, your relationships have been extremely toxic. Or because you are always learning very hard lessons. I'll wait. Because you have always learned very hard lessons, some of the most hardest lessons for you have been in your relationships. Because, you know, when you get into a relationship, you need to be vulnerable and to open up your heart. And I feel like for Pile 1, you always need like constant validation or reassurance, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? We all heal, we all have something about us, and you know, if you need that reassurance, like the right person is gonna give it to you. But I think because you needed that security, you didn't always receive it, and you're coming into a place where you are really connecting to yourself, to your energy, healing your energy, and it is going to like bring the right people into your life, the people that won't abandon you, the people that will give you what you need, what will fulfill you, and will go over and beyond. And with this spiritual union, it can very well talk about a relationship. I think this is only if like you really have the biggest wounds in your relationship, like you still cry about that ex that was like from years ago, because you feel so much more deep, like on a deeper level. But this like can also be friends. Some of you, your wounds are with your friends or your family. You really know where this is for you, because you don't even want to talk about whatever this is. You don't even want to hear it. So just know that whatever this is here, you are like your next chapter is gonna consist of you building up your energy, your stability, you coming into a place of so much more confidence, and being able to open up to see the things that are there for you, the people that are there for you. But it's also seeing your own values, and this will attract the right people when it comes to love, friendships. Again, you are going to be in the center of attention. I think that something that I learned along my spiritual journey that I know will help you guys is like, when I first became spiritual, or when I should say learned about spirituality, I always thought that ego was a bad thing, that we shouldn't be egotistical. And part of that is true, but I think I started to realize that everybody has an ego. Ego just represents your identity, who you are in this world, you know, how you show love, how you express yourself. And it is important, you know, it is important to live in your ego, but it's like you have to have this balance. So either you don't have enough of your ego, you don't love yourself enough, or you love yourself too much, right? And that's why it's important to have this balance. And for a lot of you, you're gonna be mastering that. You're gonna know exactly what to say, what to do in certain situations. And it's almost like your natural instinct, a natural skill that you have. And I think you may have a lot of earth and fire in your chart, or like water and fire. You just for some reason, I can tell that you have like the best of both worlds when it comes to your energy. So you're so good at like speaking, but you're so good at doing at the same time. And that is gonna help you heal a lot. And just see that like you don't need this validation. You don't need things to be perfect. Like, things are working for you, but you have to allow them to. And if you see something that isn't, move forward. It's not personal. It's just not for you. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm over here out of breath. I'm gonna read from the book for this oracle deck. So let's see what comes up for you guys. So tell me about pile 1. What does pile 1 need to know for their next chapter? This one right here. You have the cosmic heart. It says devotion, potency. Make your life a moving prayer. For some of you, you may really be connecting to angels, archangels in specific. It's not for everyone, but I feel like you will know, because especially archangels, they make their presence known. They will show up in your dreams. You will start to see a lot of feathers. Like, you will know when they are reaching out. So do not doubt it. So let's see. Let's see. The cosmic heart. Okay, it says, when you surrender to a state of devotion, you find yourself flowing with all of life. You're being called to refocus your attention deep within, to the intelligence of your own heart. to bow with deep reverence to your inner temple, to live your life in devotion to this place, to make your life one big moving prayer. And it's making me think of like your heart being this place that you go to, this home that you go to, and you really venerating your emotions as you have never before. Perhaps you felt a bit off kilter lately, sensing that the potency of why you're doing things has gotten a little watered down or weak. Perhaps you've forgotten what made you start doing them in the first place. If so, this is your call to take a moment and reconnect with the truth at the very center of your heart. To get back to the essence of what you're about, to devote your life to what you care most about, to turn your gaze deep, deep, deep. There are seasons for harvesting and seasons for sowing. Right now, you're being called to plant your soul seeds and sing to them with deep devotion, to feed them with the sweet waters of your own soul, to lose yourself in the potency of what it is that most expands your heart, to live your life according to what makes you come alive rather than what everyone else thinks, to make your life one big moving prayer. And I think because devotion has been said so much, it's like, what are you investing your energy into? What and who are you devoting yourself to? And is this the resource that you need in your life, physically and spiritually? So I think this is such a beautiful energy because you are reconnecting to your purpose. And it's almost like, I don't know why, but I kept getting the energy of like, you're gonna find that you are losing track of time. Like you're truly going to be doing things because you enjoy them. And even when you're at work, or even when you're spending time with people, it's like you're laughing, you're truly enjoying yourself instead of being anxious or on your phone. It's like you are becoming a lot more in the moment, if that makes sense. And I love that for you. I feel like you, out of everyone, deserve it because you have such a big heart, and you will see like what it means to live beyond like your heart, to live beyond that place. And then the last oracle deck that I have for you guys, this one is your soul truth. So this is like a question or something that you may want to keep in mind throughout this next chapter for you, and it might help you overcome a challenge or when something becomes very difficult. So tell me, what does pile 1 need to hear the most for this next chapter, spirit? I'm gonna take the one on the bottom because you have 3. Oh my gosh, this is like so perfect for you. Okay, so this one says, am I consistently showing up? I just wanted to focus a little bit. Wow. Okay, and then you have, some trade their dreams for comfort, yet comfort is the enemy of progress. Success requires showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it, and even when it feels uncomfortable. It takes guts and an endless vision to stay consistent to your dream. And I feel like, for pile 1 specifically, I think that you may choose comfort over happiness because you know what's going to happen. And at a certain point, you start to become miserable or discontent with your life. But you fear change or the unknown so much that you would rather skip out on following your heart or your happiness because you want to know what's going to happen because of your fear. And this is the time where you take that leap of faith, where you follow your dreams. Because what is a life for if you don't follow your truth? If you are not who you want to be? If you put this mask on your whole life? Money is worth nothing, and the relationships you have are worth nothing if it's only at face value. If it is only because if it is only if it is only that you put on a certain persona, this is the time that, you know, you unleash the person that you really are, and that you allow support to come in all the ways that it wants to come in, whether it's spiritually, physically, people showing up through work. Know that you are so supportive, and that you, even though you have failed and made mistakes, that doesn't mean that you don't deserve to be successful. But show up for yourself every day, and know that even though you may not know what's gonna happen, that you're showing up, that you're showing out, that every day is another day to be proud of yourself, and that you have beat the challenge. And your challenge is like, I feel like doing what you love rather than doing what people want you to do, rather than doing what is expected of you. And then and for today's soul action, it says journal where you can be more consistent in your life, in alignment with your soulful goals and your dreams as well. Then show up. This is beautiful. So I definitely hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. Definitely let me know your thoughts, and anything that you want to share. I love you guys, and please comment anything, any emojis that have to do with a star, or any yellow emojis, really. So I know that you made it to the end of this reading. And I hope you like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what kind of other readings you want to see. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, hello. So this is gonna be pile 2. So if you chose this pile, then it is definitely for you. So let's see what comes out through your tarot cards first, and then we shall move into your oracle cards. Right off the bat, this pile, I feel like your throat chakra may be very unbalanced, and ever since you were a child, you had a lot of trouble like speaking up. Either you would come off like very aggressive, or you would be like, the entire time you felt like invisible. To be honest, I feel like you could have always been that sad child, like in the corner. You know, there may have been very few times where you actually were, you know, you enjoyed your childhood. There was just a lot of sadness. I think your throat chakra is one of those chakras that is very important to heal, because it is your identity. It is how you express yourself, how you want to be perceived, how you speak to others, how you speak your love, right? All of these things. So when it is unbalanced, you become like a channel for everyone else, and not yourself. Like, you basically become this like people pleaser. You start to do things for other people, and it makes you very sad, because you feel like there's no you. Like, you feel like a robot essentially. And I think that like this chakra is something that connects to everything else. So like when something is wrong, you're able to communicate it. So I feel like it's like I feel like this is something that has been going on for a long time, and for some reason you need to start here. You need to start healing by speaking your truth. And it has affected like your relationships. I think you haven't allowed yourself to get too close to family. As you like got older, nobody really has known how sad, how depressed you actually were. It's like you don't really allow yourself to get too close to people. And I feel like one of the biggest reasons can be because you don't like, you may feel like the person, like you as a person like you're boring, or like you have no sense of expression, or there is no like you feel like the love that you have to give may not be enough. Like there's just a lot of fear and guilt and shame here, and I feel like you overthink a lot about your situation. And something that I'm gonna tell you is like, you know, people are always gonna say something, and you need to realize that when you start to listen to these people, it only gets worse. Like it will not get better. So I feel like for your next chapter, there is a lot of protection that is being placed. Well, you're always protected, but a lot more protection is being placed on you. And just like removing all these swords, like removing, I would say, all these people, I feel like the truth is gonna come out about a lot of people around you. And in this next chapter, it definitely feels like you are going to be shown who you need to remove from your life. And there's going to be a lot of support, a lot of guidance during this time, because it may be very sad. It may be, you may get very overwhelmed. I feel like you will be clearing out a lot of old energies. Some of you may have already done this, but the thing that I can tell you the most is that you're still sad about it. You're still sad about that relationship. You're still sad about those friends, about those family members. And even though you know you have to leave, or even though you know you have left, you are still in this energy as much as you want to avoid it. I think the biggest thing that I always tell people is like, there's a lot of people that's gonna tell you, oh, just move on, like it's been a year. But remember that you don't need them to validate your emotions. Remember that at the end of the day, how you feel is important. And the more that you try to just distract yourself is the more that, like, imagine that you have a big wound. I have a big wound on my arm. And instead of treating the wound or going to the hospital, I just put a band-aid over it. That's not gonna fix my wound. That's gonna make it worse. And that's how it feels in this case. Some advice that you may be getting is exactly like putting that band-aid over a wound. Oh, just move on. It's a lot easier said than done, and you need to realize that. You need to realize the amount of strength that it has taken for you to be in this energy and not like have this breakdown or do it all on your own, right? So it's important to really venerate yourself and to really love yourself even through the difficult times, to let yourself cry, to let yourself, like, to let the emotions really come through, because at the end of the day, you know, each and every day that you deal with this more is one step closer to, you know, being closer to your truth, to your personal energy that you have felt so far from. And at the bottom of the deck, you have the Ace of Wands. So there's a lot of new beginnings, a lot of energy coming towards you. And you may even experience a lot of anxiety now because you feel it, and you feel this pressure of like having to do so much. But know that like you do not, that you're always gonna be guided, and your blessings will never really be taken away from you. So I think that right now there is an energy of you reflecting, of this big pause. So things may be stagnant for you right now, but take this time to rest, to just enjoy the moment, to live a lot more in the moment, because you will have a lot of choices to make in the future. You will have a lot of success in the future. And you may even become a lot more financially independent. But know that your hard work is and will not go unnoticed. There is a lot of like miracle energy with this pile. So I think there's a lot that will happen, that it will not be the way that you think. And there is, every time I see the Hangman, it reminds me of like a peaceful resolution to a situation, to a problem that you felt so stuck in. Allow the universe, God, your spirit guides, whatever you truly believe in, allow that or them to bring this resolution in your life. Know that you do not have to stress yourself out so much. And right now is all about your energy. Take the time to regenerate, to, rest a lot more. And make small goals for yourself. I feel like you could be a lot on your phone. You could drink a lot of caffeine, coffee, maybe even like tea or soda. Just make small goals for yourself that will help you like ease off the anxiety, to just have a more peaceful life. Take baby steps now so that in the future you can be running towards your goals, right? So let's see what we have for your oracle cards. All right, so I'm gonna use my Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. This is what it looks like. Okay, so tell me about Pile 2. Pile 2 is the next chapter. Your sacral chakra. Hold up. And you have Stand Your Ground in reverse. And at the bottom of the deck, you have Light. So I feel like your sacral chakra, I'll start there, is all about your creativity. It basically represents the womb where we are born in, right? It's a mother energy. So for some of you, you may not have a good relationship with your mother. And this may just mean that you feel really unmotivated, you're burnt out, you're frustrated. I think you're working very closely with your sacral chakra as well. You may find yourself wearing a lot more orange, or you may have like a fall palette, so like those muted orange, that mustard yellow, gold kind of energy as well. So I feel like you will have a chance to speak your truth on the mistreatment, on the abuse that you have had, that you were never able to speak on. Even if it is on social media, even if it is only in your family, maybe it's gonna be in court, but just know that I think this situation is gonna teach you, like, everybody, it may be years after, but everybody at one point gets their karma, or they all get, like, everything. Basically, the truth is always gonna come to light. There's never gonna be a moment where things are always covered up. And know that, like, what you feel has been in the shadows for so long, or was never gonna come to light, or people were never gonna understand you. Know that it definitely is. That the decisions that you have made, like, nothing that you did was, like, the mistreatment and the abuse that you got out of whatever situation that you're thinking of when I'm speaking about this, like, whatever happened, know that it was not your fault. That whatever you did, it was not something for you to feel guilty or shameful about. And I think that this, you have buried it so deep inside of you that when something bad happens in your life, like maybe you become really frustrated or angry, instead of being angry at that person or the situation, you become angry at yourself, and you place all the blame on you, and you go back all the way over here to the mistreatment, and you start to think about that you deserve whatever this was, and that you don't deserve to have a successful life, because look at all the mistakes that you have made and how many times you have failed. But know that, like, I was saying this in pile 1, and I can see it so well here in pile 2. Like, just know that sometimes our failures and our mistakes don't mean that we don't deserve whatever that is. Sometimes that is your message, that that person and that situation is simply just not for you. That, like, sometimes it's important not to take shit personal, because this will not work out for 2 years or 5 years, and then you will find something or someone so much better that will work instantly. So truly know that, like, you have done all that you can in your life with all the knowledge that you have, and you need to start seeing your energy as it is and start loving yourself a lot more, because you deserve it. And I think that, like, there was a lot that was said to you that made you feel a certain way, a certain level of guilt or shame, and you need to release that. There's no, I feel like you hold a lot of grudges with certain family, and specifically your mom, because this is coming out here. But just know that, like, coming from a very stubborn Taurus, like, holding on to grudges and pain is only gonna cause you pain. It's not hurting that person. The person that is hurting is you. And I'm not saying that you need to forgive this person, but I'm saying that a part of you moving forward is knowing that, like, whatever caused you pain, you did not deserve that. And, you know, letting them learn their lessons. I feel like speak your truth once and for all and letting it go. And this may be something that you take on later on, right? If you feel hurt, you know, saying, hey, this really hurt me. Like, it's like you're starting to learn to really express when you're triggered, when you're hurt. And like I said, expressing your emotions a lot more, so that you don't get into this guilt or shame or just holding grudges all the time. Even if you have to curse someone out, right? Like, this is not all love and light. Sometimes you become angry, right? You want to curse someone out, and you can definitely do that. Like, just don't use your vessel, your energy, as a place for resentment or envy or, you know, hatred or negativity, because you do not deserve that, right? So that is something that I will say. I also want to use this one right here. This one is my daily crystal oracle deck. So let's see what you guys get. You have rhodonite. Find a way to forgive. So yeah, there could be a lot about forgiveness, and, you know, even if you don't choose to forgive, choosing to let it go, choosing that you want to start over, that is exactly what I feel here. And then for the last, no, this is not the last one. I have 2 more, guys. So for the next oracle card, this is the Starseed Oracle. So let's see, okay, what you get. I'm gonna choose this one. This one is the Activated Earth, Power Places, Ley Line. Trust where you're led. Exactly. So I'm gonna read from the book with this. So let's see. Just wanted. Okay. It says, ley lines are invisible pathways on the land along which energy travels. They can be sensed when we tune into them with our subtle senses, also known as spirit paths. They've been compared to the meridian system of the body used in Chinese medicine, and they link sacred sites, stone circles, burial mounds, and places of worship worldwide. In Australian Aboriginal culture, song lines were the paths traveled by the creator beings as they made the land and sea during the dreaming. These paths were recorded in the traditional songs and dances of the people, allowing them to access information about the land's history and to travel safely across great distances. Many believe that as we visit such sacred points on earth, something is activated within us. Some also believe that by connecting with the land with devotion at these sacred places, something is activated within the planet too. Are you being called to travel to a sacred place that your soul remembers, or to tend to the land you live on, to honor and acknowledge the known and unknown keepers or nature spirits of that land? As you connect with the earth and honor its keepers, the land opens up more fully to hold you. The fruits provide more nourishment, and the guardians watch over you. So if some of you are very spiritual, you may be connecting a lot more with Mother Gaia and nature. But I also feel like there could be a lot of travel coming up for you guys. And I'll give you a more like beat down or rundown. So basically, like with this card, I know because I felt this so much before. There's just certain places that you feel so attracted to, and you could be so broke, but in some way, like, it just so happens that you end up traveling to these places for some reason. For you guys, I feel very strongly like you may end up traveling to like your home. Like, this could be where your parents are from if you come from like an immigrant family, or you come from especially like a Hispanic family, right? Or just not like, even though you were born in the US, your parents weren't, basically. But I feel like there's something for you guys about going back to your roots. And even though you may not go there to visit family, you may go there to experience certain energies. You may have spiritual experiences during this time. But truly, I believe that it will be a place where you will honor like who and what is around you, even if you may not see it. And there's something very healing about whatever this is. So just be prepared for that. I definitely see that you will travel, and that could be a part of your next chapter. Like, I feel like you have been doing this healing for a long time. It's been like an ongoing thing, and truly, when you're ready to let this go, which is in this chapter, I feel like you will travel to wherever this is, and you will feel it so deeply in your soul. And you will just feel so like not empty in a sense, but you will feel like you're so free. Like, you don't feel tied down to anything or anyone, and that truly is gonna bring a lot more opportunities because you're not tied down to anything. And I really love that for you. And trusting where you're led, even if you may not be in the financial, like, even if you may not see it financially right now, know that like your guides, your angels will make it happen if it is something that is meant to happen. So the last card, wow, the last card that you have is, what passion am I ready to pursue? It says, your passions will continually lead you to your purpose. What passions have you put to the side, given up on, or buried? What passion is ready to come alive in you? It says, and for today's soul action, it says, write a list of the passions to which you want to give life right now. Then journal how you can incorporate more of what you are passionate about into your daily life. Trust your soul's whispering and let your passions draw you towards your dream life. That was beautiful. Okay, so this is what I have for you, Pile 2. I definitely hope that you enjoyed. It was such a pleasure to read for you. I hope you like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to comment below some fall emojis or some fall colors to let me know that you reached the end of this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hello. So this is gonna be a reading for pile 3 on what are you gonna be facing in your next chapter, any challenges, blessings, anything that really wants to come up. So something that I get a lot for you guys is you have this very like siren fairy kind of energy. And I think that your whole life, it's crazy because your whole life, the one thing that you have struggled with the most is feeling and being attractive. Like, you might look so attractive on the outside, but in the inside you may not feel that, right? Or there's always like, you may always kind of like nitpick yourself. So for your next chapter, I think the biggest thing that I can get, some of you may be a Pisces, but the biggest thing that I can get is that you're truly going to be loving yourself. You will no longer be nitpicking yourself, and you have gotten to the point where you no longer have to fake it till you make it, because you're there. And let's see what comes up. You have the 5 of Wands as expected. Okay, I'll get one more. Wow, this is truly, truly, truly beautiful. I love this so much. Okay, let me just put this card down. So I feel like I said these cards are definitely confirming what I was sensing. So you're showing up as the Queen of Cups and the Star. So right off the bat, I think that, you know, this new chapter, it's like you're realizing that in order to have this new life, you need to realize that you need to, like, the sacrifice is gonna be leaving behind your old life. It's gonna require you to leave behind the mentalities, the people, the situation. And also something that I can see as well is like, I think that your whole life, you know, you have related success to a place or a person or a career, and you have done the same thing with love. Like, you're successful in love when you have kids with someone, when you're married to that person or whatever, like when you have this commitment or stability. But I think you're starting to realize that it is an energy. You become a master of love or a master of success or money or whatever it is, or your career, when you live in your purpose, right? When you really tune into that energy. I always explain energy as if like you're turning on the radio, and in order to listen to the song that you want, right, you have to turn the radio, like you have to tune into the station that you need. And this is exactly what you're doing. There's a lot of water energy here, so you may struggle with the water element the most. I think you have your deepest wounds with the people closest to you that have hurt you, or you may just always have a hard time with your emotions. It has always felt like nobody has ever given you the space for you to freely be emotional or express yourself. But know that, like, their actions do not represent what and who you should be. Know that that is coming from a wound within them. That is the version that they're putting out of them. Do you really want to become them? Because when you listen to someone that is, you know, bringing negativity or hatred, you are only following in their footsteps. And I know you don't want to hear that, but I'm gonna tell you, I feel like there may be a lot of insecure people, a lot of people that are stuck in the same karmic cycles. Like, they're never moving up or down or nothing. They're just in the same cycle over and over, and they're like nitpicking at you or pointing their finger at you. But when you sit there and you follow that, you end up becoming them, because you are listening to the guidance that they have always taken. So you have to realize that yourself, that the advice and the love and the nurturing, all the energy and everything that you need is already within you. And know that in this next chapter there will be so much healing and so many wishes fulfilled, but it will start with viewing yourself as the trophy, viewing your value and how much energy you actually give, how in tune you actually are, how attractive you really are, right? How like you bring this beautiful energy. It's not just about your physical attraction. And I feel like you will definitely be attracting a lot of people as well, for sure. So be prepared for that. There's a lot of energy heading your way. And I feel like you love it. You love being around people. You enjoy every minute of it, for sure. So the card that I got was Birth of Magic. And it is the number 4. So you could be seeing a lot of 444. Doesn't have to be. And this is what the back looks like. I love this deck, but I lost like the box for it. It's called Fairy Wisdom Oracle. So let's see. I'm gonna read from the book. Okay, so it says, here lies a message to open up your heart and find that small child within you. That childlike joy, trust, and awe often gets stifled as we grow to adulthood. Remember to see the magic through the child's eyes and mind. Recall the spirit of the fairy child within, who laughs and sings with abandon. Bring that essence into your daily life by rejoicing in nature. See beyond the adult mind and into the reality of the elemental world around you. Ask for the help of the elementals in connecting with the magic within and bringing it out into all that you do. As humans, we tend to get hung up on our duties, our accomplishments, what we have and what we don't have. We take life way too seriously. If you have small children in your life, watch them and see how they respond to the world around them. They come from pure emotion and pure joy. Their excitement and even the smallest things is essentially their spirit rejoicing at just being. The sound of a tiny chime sends them into peals of laughter. A multicolored strand of lights is enchanting and awe-inspiring to them. The taste of new food brings a look of incredulousness to their faces. They absorb everything completely. They're not halted by fears or what ifs. They live to explore and to learn and to rejoice. They live in the now. Everything is a miracle to them, as it actually is to us if we would just realize it. Practice seeing your world through the eyes of a child, unfiltered and open to what life has to offer. If you chose this card, it is possible that a small child is coming into your life, or you may be working with a small child or your own small child within. And this is something that you can say to repeatedly to like help you embody this energy. It says, O magic kingdom that dwells within and without, come through my being that I may rejoice in the wisdom of the young. In all that I do, help me to experience the joy and laughter that resides within my child self. Help me to live in the now and approach each moment with innocent trust in the divine plan of my life. I am thankful for my divine connection. So be it. So yeah, that was very beautiful, and I feel like I think a part of like seeing, hearing, experiencing your energy and how beautiful it really is maybe it is, you know, seeing yourself through the eyes of like a small child, or seeing all that like you have to offer now, and letting go of all the materialistic things that we don't really need. All right, and then this one right here, this one is the Archangel Metatron's Self-Mastery Oracle deck. So let's see what comes out. You have Mother Earth. I feel like, you know what's crazy? I started out saying that there's a lot about the water element, but you may actually be connecting to all elements, right? Water connecting to your emotions and really living in the moment, right? Allowing your emotions to come at an ease, and really connecting and grounding yourself, right? Grounding your energy, experiencing who you really are, you know, experiencing this calmness and this peace. And with the air element, allowing your thoughts to flow. I almost say flow. Allowing your thoughts to flow freely, right? You don't have to worry, because you have this energy of, I can express myself whenever I want. Yeah, your communication, being able to just speak up and be heard. And with fire, following your heart, your passions. Really, I think with fire, I see a lot of like, you put a lot of passion into your emotions and into the things that you do, into this creativity. And at the bottom of the deck, you have Authentic Self. Who are you? So you are really diving deep into the person that you are. And if the path that you are walking on today is leading you to, I don't want to say your best future, but to the person that you are, the person that you want to be, is this leading you towards that path? Or do you need to make some changes? Know that you are always supported, and that you can always create a home, that you can always create something for yourself. Even in the smallest miracles, even in the smallest things, there's always something to be happy about. There's always such a good energy. So don't feel bad for things not working out, because truly we are always led. All right, and then the last oracle card I'm going to use is the Starseed one. So let's see what comes out for you guys. Wow, you have the first card that you got was All Paths Lead Home, Inner Authority, Intuition, and Turn Your Gaze Within. This is absolutely beautiful. Like, do I even have to say anything else? And again, this is making that connection and realization that success is not a person, is not a place, is not a thing. It's an energy. And when you find that home that you've been searching for, you will find success in everything. You will find happiness and love in everything, because you are no longer feel like you're searching for this missing key. You're searching for yourself and people and things. And the last card is You Got the Love. Hadarian energy, codependency, and boundaries. Boundaries are so important, because it allows you to love people, and even sometimes when it has to be from a distance. I'm gonna also read from the book, because I love specifically this deck. This deck and the fairy deck are one of my favorite decks to read from the book, because they have such good messages. So let's see. All right, let's see. All right. Okay, it says, the Hadarians are believed to be beacons of pure, divine, unconditional love, who see love in all people and situations. As a result, they can find it hard to have boundaries, interdependent, healthy relationships. because they only see the unconditional nature of those they meet. The lovers of the cosmos, they dive in fast. They're here to learn how to love while in a separate body, to learn to love self first, and then establish healthy relationships with others, to remember that the love they seek is already within them, that they truly do have all the love, that they truly do have the love all on their own. The message of this card is to review the ways you may need to establish healthier boundaries. Perhaps you're in a codependent relationship in which you may be losing your sense of self. It's common for starseeds to dive deep into relationships, particularly with those who feel safe and familiar at a soul level. Perhaps you're in a relationship in which you give more than you receive, or there's a certain volatility. I definitely messed that word up. Listen. Or perhaps there's a certain volatility to it and you're always unsure where you stand. This card is a sign to do a relationship review and see what energetic agreements you've made, consciously or unconsciously. To acknowledge if there are relationships in which you feel anxious or powerless, in which you don't feel it's safe to relax and just be you. To assess if there are any places of inadequacy that you've used a relationship to soothe and cover up. That's crazy. I feel like this may be like the challenge in your next chapter, to know that like you have all this attention, you have all this love, you have these good opportunities, but it's important to review the nitty-gritty, the red flags first before you move into that energy. And I can understand that, because sometimes it's so easy to just jump in, to take the leap of faith, to take the chance. But is it worth you being hurt or it becoming worse over time, right? So setting those boundaries, making yourself very clear, making your emotions clear is so important. And knowing that you truly do not need anybody in your life, because you have all the love within yourself. And it's harsh to say, but it is the truth. You know, you want someone around, but you don't need them. And that is the truth. So yes, wait, before I leave, I want to use this one for you guys, because you guys give that like mermaid and fairy energy. So let's see the last thing that comes up. Okay, wow, you have like 4 cards and we're gonna take them. So you have the ocean. Be beautiful, mysterious, wild, and free. This is so, like, I love this so much. And then you have safety. Don't be too proud to go back to shore or back home, in a more literal sense. To go back to the basics. And then you have reflect. Peer into the endless ocean and see what peers back. And if you think about it, like the ocean or any body of water, what happens when you look into water, you see your own reflection. It's like looking into a mirror. And sometimes you do not like the person that is looking back at you. And that's how you know that maybe there needs to be some changes that are made, right, in your life. Maybe, you know, there's certain things that you need to heal. And the last but not least card is opportunity. You will prove yourself and discover if you brave the rough seas, if you become courageous, if you take action even when it feels scary and uncomfortable. You will find that energy of success and that place that you search for in everything that you do. Once again, I really love this. definitely let me know if you enjoyed, and make sure to comment mermaid emojis, make sure to comment fairy emojis, or anything pink or pastel colors if you made it to the end of this pile, or this reading I should say. And like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you enjoyed, let me know your thoughts, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.